Hello guys and welcome to PowerBI Zone. Today we take a look at some of the very important PowerBI DAX interview questions. So the first interview question is, what is the difference between concatenate and concatenateX? Now concatenate simply joins two strings into a single text string, while concatenateX is its iterator version. Now what it does, it will evaluate an expression for each row of the table and then return the concatenated value as a single string result. We'll go ahead and take a look at both these DAX functions through a practical example. So I'll go straight forward to the data pane. Over here already there is a table called only names. It is having title, first name and last name. I hope it is pretty much visible to you guys. This is the table. Now the ask is we have to create a fourth column over here called full name, which will concatenate the title and the first name and the last name. So the first name that I'll get is Mrs. Samantha Smith. Very simple. Let's go ahead and try to do this. So for that, I'll go ahead and create a new column. I will write the name of that column as full name equals. After that, I'll give concatenate. So the concatenate will only accept two texts. One is text1 comma text2. It will not accept text3 text4. Remember this. So now I'm having three columns, right? So if I say that give me for the text1, I write the title, right? So only names title, this is my first text, comma, if I write first name, right? So first name, and then if I simply close this, type enter, what it does, it just concatenates the title and the first name. Now if I try to give one more comma, look, it is erroring out. There is a small red sign over here. I hope you are able to see this, which says whatever I am doing is incorrect. I cannot give a third comma over here, or rather a second comma over here, right? So for that, I have to go ahead and do something in the text1 or text2. For that, there is another solution to this problem, because now I need to concatenate my last name as well. So what I can do is I can come to my first name and I can write this ampersand symbol, right, which is another function for concatenation, right? And after ampersand, I can simply give the last name, right? So I did not give anything like a comma, and I did not give the third column. I concatenated again the first name with the last name, but this time using ampersand, and that too inside concatenate. Hope you are clear. So now if I go ahead and press on enter, I will get the entire first name title plus the first name plus the last name. This is how it's going to look. Although I need some spaces, so I can again give spaces over here. What I can do is and now readability wise it looks much better. Miss Samantha Smith, Mr. Jeff Smith, right? So this is what concatenate does. Very simply, it will concatenate strings into a single string. That's it. Now let us go and try to understand what is the importance of concatenate X. Now let's take an example of concatenate X. Now concatenate X can be used to design both a column as well as a measure. In this example, we'll see how we can use concatenate X to create a column first, so that we have a better understanding of what concatenate X does. So for that, I'll just simply click on new column. I will rename the column as I'll name the column as concatenate example, concatenate X example, and then I will say concatenate X as evident. Let me just go ahead and Try to minimize the font. Yeah, so it will take the table as the first argument. I will say only names as the table. Then it takes the expression. For the expression, I want to combine the first name and the last name, so I will give the first name ampersand, that is concatenation, with the last name. It will give the last name to me, and after that I need to give a delimiter. My delimiter will be comma. Okay, now as I told you, this is going to be an iterator function. It will go for each and every row. It will try to concatenate the word David with Robinette. It will go to the second row. It will store the first result in memory. It will go to the second row. It will say Rebecca Robinson, store it in memory, give the delimiter, come to the third row, Dorothy Robinson. Then it will go to the fourth row, give the delimiter, go to the fourth row. Like that, it will go for each and every row. After combining everything and separating them with the delimiter, it will actually give the result by concatenating this entire thing into each and every cell. So let's see what it does. Okay, now I hope this is going to be clear. Okay, this is the result what concatenateX does. For each and every row, since it's going to be an iterator function, right, it will just concatenate David, Robinette, and then give the delimiter, that is comma, go to the next row, do the concatenation. Like that, it will go to all the rows till the end row. After everything, all the results has been stored in memory, then it will concatenate everything and return for each and every cell, right? Hence, you're going to get this for all the 101 rows that this table is having. Now you'll ask me, what is the advantage of this? Now for that, I have to go and show you how it can be used in a measure, right? So over here, I have created a particular measure with the full names. The same thing I have given, only I have used a different delimiter as slash. Okay, I am concatenating the first name and the last name and using concatenate_x. Look over here, it is going to give me those names whose prefix with the title as Mr. Over here Mrs. I'm having two values. Over here only one Miss as Elisa Moore. Right? So if I go ahead and try to filter this out as Mrs. So let me go out there in the data tab. I'll filter this out only for the Mrs. value. I'll get two rows, Elisa West and Barbara Nara. Right? So how this works in a measure is very interesting. So in the measure, so you have to understand how the data is. In my data, I'm having only, forget the last one that I have created. This column you can forget as of now. So only I'm having four, columns, let's say. So under Mrs. I'm having Elisa West one value and the other is Barbara Nara. Now in my column, as soon as I create a particular visual out of this particular Mrs., what is happening in my backend, there are two rows, right? So although now as you're aware that PowerBI does a group by, so as soon as I'll put only table, let me just go ahead and delete this new measure that I have done, right? And what is happening over here is, if I just pull the title, there are so many Misters and Mrs., but over here only once you are going to get. Why? Because PowerBI will obviously do a group by. Now how a measure works with concatenate_x is, as soon as you will pull that particular measure over here next to the title, it will go to the data, right? And it will see how many rows I am having for Mrs. I am having two rows for Mrs. Right? So it will go ahead and do the concatenation. Elisa West, it will give a comma, go to Barbara Nara, and it will repeat that Elisa West, Barbara Nara in the first row as well as in the second row, that for the new measure that you have created, right? And then it will do a group by. It will try to combine both these using this particular title, which is why you are only having Barbara Nara and Elisa West once, because it is doing a group by. This is the scene, this is behind the scenes story that I am telling you. So that's how you can use concatenate_x in a measure, which is a real-time usage. Hope this was useful. Going to the next interview question, which is, what is the difference between SUM and SUMX? So SUM is very simple. It is a simple aggregation function, and I have got a detailed video that I have done on SUM and SUMX. I'll just provide this on top so that you can go ahead and have a detailed look at that particular video. SUM is a very simple aggregation function. It will just go ahead and summarize the entire column and return you a particular value, right? It only accepts a single argument as an input. On the other hand, this SUMX is an iterator function and it takes a different approach. Unlike the SUMX is capable of performing row by row calculation, the same thing that we saw for concatenateX. It iterates through each row of the specified table to complete the calculation. Now let me go ahead and give you a practical example. Okay, so to understand this particular sum versus SUMX, what I have done is I have created a very simple table over here called product with prices. Over here my product is TV, refrigerator, radio and phone. Remember, TV is repeating twice, okay? Intentionally I have done that. There is a unit price. These are the unit price column. This is the quantity. So obviously unit price multiplied by quantity, you will get the sales, right? So let us see what sum is, right? So I'll go to the report canvas. I will just drag and drop this product. I have just dragged and dropped this product. It will give me unique because it's doing a group by. Although I'm having 2 TVs in my data set, I'll get only 1 TV in my product, right? So I have this get create till now. Now begins the real thing. Now if I go to this particular table, I'll say create a new measure for me, right? I will simply say sales using sum. I'll get sum and then I will say give me the sales, and this sales I will be taking from product with prices table. Great. So I have got the sum of sales. This I have created a measure called sum of sales. If I use this measure sum of sales, what you will get? You will get the sales for that corresponding product, nothing else. How in the backend it is working? Let me go over here. So what simply it is doing, it is going to see, okay, for refrigerator, what is my sales? This, right? 1 lakh. But TV is twice, right? Once for TV it is 20,000 ka sales, and TV over here it is having 30,000 sales, right? So what it will do, since I am having a sum, so it will just go ahead and do a sum of 20,000 plus 30,000, which is why you are having this 50,000 against the TV sales. This is what you are going to get the sales for each and every product using a measure. Now what SUMX does, let us go ahead and again create a particular column using SUMX first. So over here simply I have given the formula. So SUMX will accept the table as the first argument. I have given the table name, and then I have multiplied my unit price with quantity, these two columns, right? As evident, 10,000 over here it is 10,000 multiplied by 2, right? 20,000 it will store in memory. Again go to the next row because it is an iterator function. Again it will multiply 20,000 by into 5, which is 1 lakh. It will get in memory. Similarly it will do the operation for third, fourth and fifth row. All these values it will store in memory, and at last it will do a sum. The sum is obviously 3,25,000, which is why it will repeat that sum in each and every cell if you create a column using the SUMX. Now let us go ahead and see how you can go ahead and calculate a measure using SUMX, which is far more useful than a column. So let me go ahead, create a particular measure, call this measure as SUMX, right? The name of the table will be product with prices, and then I will get unit price multiplied by quantity, right? So for each and every row it will do the calculation, and over here that's it. Okay, I'll just go ahead and pull my sales using SUMX, and as you can see it is absolutely matching with my sales using sum. What is the advantage over here? SUMX is I am creating a measure, correct? So it is going to be on the fly, right? So how SUMX works in the background is, let me go ahead and explain this for the example of TV. Now it will automatically over here it is doing a group by, but as soon as it will see TV, it will go to the data pane. It will say there are 2 rows for TV, right? So for the first, it will go ahead and do a unit price multiplied by quantity, which is 20,000, 10,000 into 2, 20,000. then it will store it in memory. Again for TV it will say 15,000 multiplied by 2, which is 30,000. It will store this 30,000 also in memory. At last, since it is a sum x, so it will do a summation of 20,000 plus 30,000 and return the result only for TV as 50,000 over here. Similarly for the rest of the products, right? So sum x, if we use as a measure, is far more logical in comparison to if we use this as a column, right? So I hope now you are dead clear with the difference between sum and SUMX. Now coming to the third interview question that we have, does all override a page level filter or report level filter? Now I have had several videos on all. I'll go ahead and try to give the video at the end screen as well, so that you will be able to understand what all does in details. As of now, answering this important interview question, I'll just take this up. I'll go to my Power BI file. So guys, just to explain what all is doing over here, I have taken the country and the year filter at the top, or rather the slicer at the top. Over here I am giving you a simple table visual, and I am pulling in country sales, and I have created this measure called all of sales. So let us go ahead and see how I have created this all sales measure. Simply I have created this using calculate sum of sales, and inside all I have given this country column. What it is doing, it is going to remove any filter context that is applied on this country column. Okay, so to explain this simply, I have chosen out of these 5 countries, although I have chosen Canada, France and Germany in the slicer, hence you are able to see Canada, France and Germany in your table visual as well. But what all will do, so the first, there is a filter context coming in for Germany in the first row, France for the second row, and Canada for the third row, which is why you are able to see these corresponding sales for Germany, France and Canada. But all will remove this filter context for Germany, France and Canada. Also it will remove the filter context coming for Mexico and United States, right? All these 5 countries, right? And you will get the total sales for all the countries, that is 1187. To prove this, I'll just create a simple page over here. I'll say give me a card. So I'll create a card. I'll say all sales. So I'll take all the sales over here, which is this. I'll go over here. I'll change the call out value from auto to none, which will give me this entire sales, right? This is for the entire sales for all the countries, and this is absolutely matching with what all is giving me over here. So I hope you're clear with the definition of all. Now to answer the main question, does all, if I give a page level or a report level filter over here, right? So let's go ahead and do that first. Let me bring ahead and give a report level filter of country. So already I am seeing, let me go ahead and select Canada. If I select Canada, you will see, although this visual gets filtered only for Canada because I'm giving a report level or page level filter, but still the sales for all will remain at 1187. Look, correct? As soon as I give it for Canada, it is going to filter only for Canada, right? Oh, but the all is still giving 1187. That means all will override everything, whether it is going to be a report level filter or a page level filter. So hope you are dead clear with this. Moving to the last question that we have for the day. What is the use of GenerateSeries DAX, right? So GenerateSeries is having this particular formula. First of all, you'll have the first argument is a start value and the second argument as a end value. There is going to be an increment, and automatically it will return a table with a single column containing all the values in that series which you have specified as the start and end values. So let me go ahead and show that to you. Simply I'll go to, since it will create a table, so what do I need? I need to create a new table. So as soon as I'll click on the new table, I will say give me generate DAX. So use of generate, right? And then let me zoom this a bit, equals, it says generate series, and it will ask me start value, end value and increment. So start I'll give 100, and I will give 200, and increment I'll give, let's say, 3, and I will create this table. Very simple. It will automatically create a table with a single column. To view that, I have to go to the data pane, and I will say use of generate. So use of generate, this is going to be the table, right? And look, as evident, let me zoom this a bit. It will start your values from 100. The increment that I have given is 3, so the next value is going to be 103, the next value 106, 109, and so on. Similarly, what will be my last value? My last value will be 199. Okay, because the range I have specified till 200, but once you give the increment, the last value will automatically come at 199. So guys, I hope you are okay with all these interview questions. These are very important. Please practice them. And guys, if you're liking my video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, which will inspire me to make more such useful videos for you guys. Please like, and also if you have any comments, do let me know. Thank you guys, and have a nice day. Bye bye.